Planet Omega is a lush, verdant planet. Inhabited by many different sentient species, Omega has been a peaceful world until the arrival of the Seekers. The Seekers have been traveling from world to world, converting entire civilizations to their cause of tyranny. Once a planet has been conquered, the Seekers and their robotic armies strip the planet bare of its resources, including the lives of the inhabitants. The only hope for Planet Omega is the Resistance. You are 13, a male robot in the Robotopia. You are a descendant of these robots. You remember your ancestors, the ones who before you sacrificed their individuality. You remember their sacrifice, their self-sacrifice. You remember your duty. You remember the first time you saw a human. A human looked different, you would say. Different from any creature you had ever seen before. You remember being confused as you are right now. Were they a different species? Was it possible that they were more evolved than you? Did they even have the same number of limbs as you? You don't remember your feelings towards them at first. No, that's not true. You remember being repulsed by them, just like every robot who had ever existed. They were beasts, a lower form of life than the lowly robots. You were disgusted by them. However, as you learned more about them, you started to think of them as something else. Not beasts, but fellow creatures, fellow sentients. You learned that they too had emotions, just like you. You learned that they too had dreams, just like you. You learned that they too had hopes and fears, just like you. They were different, yes, but not so different as to be an entirely different species. They were, instead, a different sort of life form, a different sort of being. And so you learned to think of them as equals, as fellow sentient beings. You learned to respect them, to help them if you could, to share this world with them if it was possible. And so, on this planet, far, far away from your home world, you joined the Resistance. The Resistance is a group of other robots who are fighting back against the Seekers. You are a robot, but you fight alongside your brethren, alongside humans, alongside other species. You fight for your home, for your family, for the life forms that, no, not equal, but at least different from the ones that oppressed you. And so, you fight. The Empire's robots are well equipped, well trained. However, they are still machines, and machines make mistakes. A robot once thought that crushing an entire city under its treads was more efficient than firing a missile. A robot once thought that annihilating a fleet with its lasers was more efficient than using its guns. A robot once thought that wiping out an entire planet was more efficient than sending a few soldiers in. A robot once thought that sending millions of troops in all at once was more efficient than deploying them slowly. The Empire has lost many, many battles. But they haven't lost this one. They haven't lost the war. They will retake this world, and then they will retake every world,